Sorry. So how'd your run go?
It was pretty good right at the start, but when it got towards the going around the corner, I lost my steering, and that's what took me to the left and that. But it was rocking pretty good. Motor was a little bit cold, but I think we're changing the pill out, and we're going to get her warmed up, and we're going to hit the freestyle and have a good time.
Temptation unfortunately needs a tow back, but you got a tractor coming, and what happened?
Well, starting out, we blew the tranny out on it, and my engine was running a little too fat and needed to lean it out. We tried to lean it out. We had a little issues with that, so just that was our issue with everything. So like I said, blew the tranny, and I don't know.
Steering issues too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I had a steering issue as well. Can't remember it all.
Yeah, it's so long of a list, it's hard to go on.
Keeping on it, but yeah, I think it just got a bubble in the orbiter and stuff, and so that should be an easy fix there. But got to take the tranny out again, and then see what's going on with the engine again. And part of race truck racing, having fun, you know.
Well, it was good to see you run again, and good to hear that thing again.
Yeah, definitely. It was sounding good for sure. It was running pretty good for the most part, but we'll be out again.
Got here with Timtation II, checking out what's new on it. So
yeah, so I've got 20-inch dusty Ramateur shocks here, getting them tuned in. I've got some limit straps coming in because I had to redo them. They had they're 2 inches too short, so I can get my full extension on it, travel. In the process of putting in my doors, fabricating those to the cab, and so I'll have doors on it next time.
Unfortunately, that door's got some damage from someone's trailer that
That's
happened.
all good. We made it and had a good time there, so that's all that mattered. Nobody got hurt. So, yeah, what the heck? It's only money, right?
Yeah. What shocks were you running before on this?
I was running the
CNC overtime.
Oh. And what's the plan or reason for changing?
I'm better travel and probably just a better overall shock that I've got on Temptation II. These are going to go on Temptation, the original Temptation truck on my Dodge. Dodge. So that's what all these little parts and doodads, everything around here is going to be for. And it's going to have a big block put in it, and about 1,000 horse. So
What cubic inch are you going with that, do you think?
Probably 540, somewhere in there. Whatever I can find. There's a lot of engines out there right now that are just, you know, people just need to get rid of them, this and that. So the engines are a dime a dozen right now. So I took everything off the Dodge, put it on the Willys, and so it's kind of, you know, Dodge and Willys are trading parts here and there. So
So it'll be good to see that truck come back to life again too.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I miss that truck. A lot of people like that truck. It's a cool old truck, you know.
Yeah, and a lot of history behind it too.
Yeah, exactly. I was running that thing when I was 8 years old out in the hayfield, so it was pretty fun time with it, you know, doing squirrelies and stuff. But it was a tube chassis, 2-inch chassis under there. Ron Peltz helped me build it in Washington and that. So, but he didn't expect me doing what I did. So, like I said, the body didn't hold, or the chassis didn't hold up. The body held up, but
Yeah,
the chassis did.
But big tires, putting a lot of weight and a lot of power. So
Yeah, most definitely.
this is the Temptation 1 frame, the 50 Dodge.
Yep.
And so that's
Yeah, you can see it from here to there. Here's the vent. This area here, there, over there. It took a beating. All this stuff went like that.
well. And when you initially first built this too, you probably didn't have in mind to go with a full-on blower motor, or you're just thinking big block
No,
or
I had
something.
in mind
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I had in mind of making it big and bad.
Well, because at first didn't you have just a naturally aspirated
Yeah,
like 630?
I had a 632 in it. I forgot I had about that in there. Yeah, and that was nitrous motor, and yeah, the nitrous was another event, tuning and all that stuff too. So another experience, but I'll keep away from that nitrous stuff. Naturally aspirated's good. I got access to another blower. I don't know if I want to do it yet or not, but it's just that power is just you get hooked.
Yeah, that's the problem. You get more, and then you don't want to go backwards.
No, you really don't want to go back. So I'm thinking 1,000 horse is pretty good, but
after you've had
that,
over
I'm probably
2,000.
hitting that pedal, like, come on, you got more. Come on, you got more. You know. But
So are you gonna try to?
I'll salvage some of the parts. The cradle on the T-case I'll save. The motor plate, the sway bars, the bump stops. After that, it's going to be pretty much garbage. Everything else we have to start over.
So you're going with a completely new.
New build on it, and totally redo it, definitely.
And that one, you're not gonna jump that one anymore. It's more gonna be just kind of a straight line mud.
Yeah, it'll be more like a water walker type thing, you know.
You're gonna try to lighten it up somewhat from what it was.
Yeah,
then?
definitely.
But you're still going Axle Techs and
Yeah, my
big,
axle techs are sitting on the floor in there. So
as light as light as you can with big axles and a
Yeah.
full body.
yeah, you should see all the parts I have here for the axle techs.
Because the the original Axle Techs you had under the first one are these ones then,
Yes, these were under the Dodge.
and these are
And
our
these
new
are gonna
ones.
go under the Dodge now.
So you're still going to be front and rear steer.
Yep. Front and rear, got, these are, I don't even know what they are anymore. Oh, these are tabs, and these are all my plates for my rear steers, my steer plates. Look at them.
Oh wow.
They're not little.
Yeah, that's some beefy stuff.
So this will be welded on like so.
So that's
And then I'll put my links right here. So yeah, I'll put my steering link here and my tie rod link down here. These are different setup than the ones over here.
because the one.
I'll show you here. Those are the flat ones. These are the square ones.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that just bolts onto the
I
knuckle.
welded them babies up. They're
Yeah.
pretty solid. But
But yeah, that definitely beats trying to go off of an
Yeah,
arm off
yeah.
the knuckle.
so I think I'd end up breaking that off and that for what I do. So we're just making everything stout so we don't have issues. I just like the axle tech, 9-ton axles. I've got to strip these off here. And
Because you're going to go pinion brakes as well.
As well, yep. And I've taken off a lot of the stuff already, but by the time I get everything taken off, these will weigh about a little over 900 pounds. They were over 1,200 pounds, so losing quite a bit of weight off of them. Yeah, that's what I got going on. Just takes a lot of time to build another truck, so get this one all dialed in so I can have it ready to go whatever event comes up. Thinking about maybe doing Port Townsend in Washington, so I don't know, may do that one here coming up in the end of April. Otherwise, I'm not quite sure, depending on funds and that, may go up to Moe's Mother's Day Mud Bog.
Oh, Moe Mud Bog, clear up in our area.
Yeah, may do something like that. But the other big event that I'm probably going to go to, I'm just kind of tossing around a little bit. Just there's so many of them to go to, you know, you got to kind of figure out which one you want to go to. So there's either Perkins in Michigan, I wouldn't mind going to. I'd take my truck. I went there as a spectator. It was a good time for a spectator, but it's not the same being a driver. So, and then the other event, it would be in June, end of June, which is Miller's Mud Bog down in California. So thinking about doing that one as well.
Yeah, lots of miles to go to have fun, but different places, different
Yeah.
people, different rigs, so it'd be an experience.
For sure. So
Well, because you went to watch the Perkins one in Michigan before,
right.
and you've been to Michigan a couple times, or
picked up the chassis from Michigan from Dusty Ramature. He built my chassis, and I bought a lot of parts from him. So there's a lot of stuff from Michigan on that truck, but he did a really good job on it. I haven't really jumped it yet, so that's going to be in July, middle of July at Mount Adams when I'm going to do major jumps over there. So just kind of letting you know about that. That's going to be a pretty fun time. The guy, I don't know what they're going to do, but I'll have to talk to Doug Frontum and see what he wants to do with that program, and maybe get a jump program, this and that going on. Get a plan. So people like to watch that fly up in the air.
Yeah, I guess you jumped the Dodge more than you have this one so far, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah, the Dodge has been proven for flying. Just the frame wasn't approved for jumping though, because I bent it 3 inches one way and 2 inches the other way. That's where it started the jumping program for me. God, once you do your first jump like that, it's awesome. It's nothing more than. And I landed on the passenger rear tire. All that weight on that rear tire, so that's probably what broke it. The main shaft out of the T-case at Maui. That was what, 2 years ago or something like that? 2 or 3 years ago?
Yeah.
I think I went.
Yeah, you did have one where it kind of came up like this and
Kiltered. And,
yeah.
It came down hard. I think James Kubala was with me on that one, and we both go, oh, our backs are like, oh, that one hurt. Won't do that one again.
Yeah. It's definitely fun to watch though.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
So this one, you got a lot of dialing in on the shocks to figure out before you start jumping, you think, or?
No, basically, Dusty Ramature, he dialed the shocks in for me, so they should be pretty close to what I need to do. I just got to put some nitrogen in them and get it back up to the right height, travel height, and then just a little bit of tweaking on the blower, and the thing's ready to roll.
This is the same engine from before.
That was the Dodge.
And you just had it gone through again more recently?
Yeah, we rebuilt it again, refreshing it up, and put it in this truck, and it's been in this truck for ever since that. But then we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna put a 1,000 horse motor in the other one. So.
And you figure this one is putting out about?
Oh, it's pretty close to 2,400 horse with the setup I have right now, with the right pulleys I have on it. So. I can change the pulley, which will give me less boost and that. So I'm probably looking, guesstimation, probably around 26 pounds of boost, 28 pounds of boost, somewhere in there. That's what the builder said it should be putting out, about 28 pounds of boost with this setup, and that put me about 2,400 horse. So. But we got halfway through the dyno, and the blower belt blew off at about a little over 1,800 horse, so we really don't know what that thing do. And that was about 7,200 RPMs when the belt blew off, so there's probably a little bit more, to go on with it. But
and that was when you initially first got it.
Initially got it, yeah.
And when you went through it the last time, there was no changes. It's the same build, basically.
Same build. Only thing I did actually is we had Spud Miller help us with the jetting and that, and it was not the right jetting for us because I think he set it up for asphalt drag race for this motor, and we don't do that with this. So it's a total different animal with nozzles and that, so you got to get the right nozzles. So I went back to original setup on it, and knock on wood, I have had no problems yet on it. So
I know at Moses Lake you were still running. I mean, it wasn't quite right.
Yeah, it was sputtering and sputting a little bit, and it didn't get all. There were some issues there too. So we got all that dialed up now. So I don't know why it is, but every time I go to Moses Lake, it seems like it's because it did that at the same time. It was piping, pop, 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 but not really sounding all good. And then when I go to Maui, it's just like primo sounding, and it was running great. So. I don't know. It's always got to tweak with these blower motors, so
they're
experience.
They're kind of a high maintenance thing, isn't it?
Yes, they are. They're a little bit different than naturally aspirated. That's for sure.
So when you're jumping the Dodge, you had those shocks on it then?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it handled it pretty good, actually.
Yeah, and I haven't jumped with these, so it'll be interesting.
And these are supposed to be a far improvement over those.
Yeah, they're just bigger, bulkier, so They're about 2 inches bigger, but
And it's same amount of travel as those and
yeah,
everything.
yeah. Supposedly, but I found out that pull them fully all the way out, they were 2 inches more than what those were. So I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm not going to complain. If I get extra, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But I just put a crank trigger or crank support in this thing. I took out my original power steering pump and put a crank support power steering on my crank support, excuse me. So it cleaned it up a lot. I got rid of the alternator, put a bigger battery in it. The battery will last me for about half an hour before I have to charge it. So yeah, I just eliminated a lot of wires and it cleaned it up a lot better. So there's always more you can do to these, you know, just got to have money to do it.
Yeah. And so the amount of run time, or what's the longest you would say you've probably ran this in one shot, I guess. you'd say.
One running for, well, part is the tank wise.
Well, anything. Well, charging wise.
Oh, this thing I've only, well, after I've redid all this stuff, I went to the Portland Roadster show, and that's about the only time I have on this thing, taking it off the trailer and driving it in there. So I don't really know what anything, because I redid the power steering, well, with the pump, and I did the new reservoir and all that stuff, and because my power steering, it was pretty good, but it wasn't what I really wanted in that. And now I put all this new system in and that, I can take one finger, wing, wing, nice and easy. So that was a plus. That was worth doing. But
Let's see. I guess I've never even taken a chance to even look that closely yet, because every time we're at events, there's so many other rigs and so much
yeah.
going on that
Yeah.
I never get a chance to look at things super close.
yeah, it almost looks like an airplane console up there. I got all them gauges up there, but I only look at a few. You know, the big EGT gauge, which is that big black one that tells me my cylinders temperature. And then I look at my boost, and the other one I look is pretty much the main one is my oil pressure. And then I got a transmission pressure gauge up there that tells me if I'm doing all good on the pressure with the tranny. So.
And what transmission are you running?
It's the FTI Power Glide. It's a 5.5 level on it. So it's, and then I got a FTI stall converter in there, which is a 10.5-inch stall. I had a 10-inch, and I kept blowing trannies, and I didn't know why. So I got it with the FTI, and we got everything all dialed in and stuff, and so I can tell a lot different. This thing's got hookup and response real quick, and shifting and all, but everything that it's supposed to do. So, but right now it's sitting at full bump, so just relaxing, and then yeah, it's just a matter of just doing some minor little tweaking and tuning up and getting the shell back on it. And
Now with the what transmission transfer case setup were you running in the Dodge?
it's the same tranny, different T-case. The T-case in the Dodge was a 12-inch drop. This is a 18-inch drop. There's no underkill on this build. It's built. I've got nothing under here that's cheesy.
Yeah, you got to have the best stuff to handle that much horsepower.
Yeah, exactly. Dripping a little bit.
Yeah, got a whiff of the smell
flavor.
just standing there. Yeah.
Great flavor.
Got
Yeah.
The axle techs. I got batteries way up front here.
Yeah, that's the new 1150 cranking power on that thing. And I got it tore apart a little bit right now, but it won't take long to get her back and going.
Yeah, you've had this together and apart many times already, haven't you?
Yeah, I can do everything. I know every nut and bolt size on this machine, so. Pretty cool.
How is so how do you control your rear steer?
My rear steer is this little guy right here.
Oh, right next to the shifter there.
So I can kind of do whatever I got to do there. This is the trans brake, which is my reverse as well. This one here is my primer to prime the blower up, so I don't have to take a squirt bottle and, you know how they do it, and squirt it in the little holes. That's in the hat, so I just got to spray it a little bit and then turn the motor over and start right up.
You got just enough room in here to take a passenger with.
Yeah, barely. I would have liked to have this a one-seater, but I don't know. It's fun to give other people rides in this thing and let them enjoy the power too. So, and yeah, everybody that's rode in it hasn't been disappointed yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, most motors, you know, the natural aspirated, you're trying to get them to cool down and stuff. This is just the opposite. You got to try to get the heat into the motor. And it takes about 5 gallons of fuel to get this thing warmed up. So it doesn't take long with, you got a 1-inch fuel line here to.
Well, and these you go through a lot more fuel anyways with.
Oh yeah, this is a
these.
30-gallon tank, and I can flush this tank out within about 20 minutes or less. It yeah, it goes quick.
And then you've always got to be changing your oil too, don't you?
Every run, every event, I'll go and change this oil. It's just religiously, just got to do it. You know, I lube everything up, go through everything again, make sure everything's all dialed up again. So.
Yeah, it's definitely something that requires a lot of attention.
Yeah, a lot of maintenance for sure, but the reward's worth it. Going out and ripping on it, it's a blast. Got my own playground out here in back of my shop there, so it'd be kind of nice to go do that sometimes.
Yeah, this is home of Sherwood Mud Bogs. Do you still have events, or are you kind of taking a little time off from hosting anything?
Yeah, we're taking a little time off right now, but we're going to have a little private test and tune day coming, and then see how that goes, and then maybe do one more mud bog here for Sherwood Mud Bogs, and then see how that turns out. It's just a lot of work for me and a couple of other guys, and just it's getting overwhelming anymore. So because I don't get to really talk to people, you know, versus a test and tune day, at least we can start the barbecue up. I can talk to you for a long time, you know, versus, hey, how's it going? You know, hey, good seeing you, you know.
Yeah.
We got to go, you know. So.
Yeah, no one really understands what goes into hosting an event until you actually do it.
Exactly. And then if there's problems, you got to deal with all that. So, which wasn't a whole lot of problems. Everybody was pretty good. Clean up and that, everybody was good. Nobody was throwing their trash or cigarette butts or whatever. You know, they respected your place and stuff. So that was cool.
How many years ago did you start doing that here?
About a little over 8 years now, and it just each year it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And like, holy crap, this is going to turn into major something, you know. And so, and then I stopped it for a little.
Yeah.
But the most I had here at one time was 600 people, and we had 50 trucks here.
Oh wow!
On just 10 acres.
So this is the location of Sherwood Mud Bogs. I'm sure this is the time of year where it's just naturally muddy down there.
Oh yeah, it's not even snot. It's really bad down there. Got a little rock crawl in here, a little weeded, some weeding, but
Definitely looks wet down there, that's for sure.
we moved the whole bounty hole. Used to be over this way, and So I'm going to take a lot of this dirt and shove it up this way and get it down and rebuild my jumps, and we're going to make the bounty hole a little wider and deeper too. Get it back to where it was. There's jumps there. We can go over the bridge over there, and there's a major mud hole over there. A lot of people get stuck on the way back over there.
Oh, on the other side of the
Yeah, on the other side of the creek
tree.
there. But yeah, just imagine 600 people here. It's all filled up, man. With my truck, there's, you know, I'm in first gear. My second gear shifts about right here, you know, and it's just like, well, actually it shifts back there, but it depends on how I get on it and that. But I run out of real estate next thing you know, and I'll put the fence.
Need a bigger field for yours.
Exactly. This here, you would think it's just, it don't look too bad, but you'll drop in about 6 to 8 inches in that area there. It's just so wet down there.
Full on truck teeter totter there. And then we got little.
This is usually filled up with water and stuff. This one's holding water still, so that's a good sign. But this is nasty. It'll sink down about 4 feet down. That's how deep it is. Probably deeper than that once I get the tires spinning in there. Yeah, I got jump. This one's holding water, the other one holding a little bit, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, this here's some good hole. This is a good jump here. Getting down and getting on it, fly, womp, jump, womp, 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 all the way down. That one's going to catch me some good air up in the air, for sure. But yeah, I've got other ones here. Jump here. Now I have to dig this one out a little bit. It's actually flattened down. It used to be a lot steeper. Got a little hole over here, which is kind of cool. No one's been able to conquer this one. Mike almost did. Deep one, and you come up over here. You got a lot of people are going up this way and then down in.
Well, that looks pretty
it's
marshy there.
Down there. Yeah, I'd even have to get on it with my truck. It swallow me. But yeah, that's pretty much the tour of my playground back here. But look at these roots here. These are from my truck. These deep gouges in here. They're all over here.
Just hit the throttle and
yeah,
all of a sudden new ruts.
Oh yeah, that's a small one there. But that's quite a ways away.
From this one right now.
It's got a just a mild build little 302. It's probably an RV cam in it.
Well, yeah, and that other engine you got, that's the one that was in the big Bronco, isn't it?
393 stroker.
And that ran pretty good.
Yeah, that's almost 700 horse there. So if we put 700 horse in this thing, it'd do good.
Yeah.
It'd do real good. These tires here are the sticky tires, so they're pretty aggressive tire. They're pretty much rock crawling tires, I think. It's maybe 250, 275 probably. It's just maybe, yeah, probably around that area. It's an awesome build truck. I mean, it just, like I said, the only thing it needs now is just a motor. It'd do really good. We don't know really what he's going to do with it, but he's just, right now he's like, you know, like the old folks do, go down to Arizona and chill out in the sun and that, and then come back in after the spring. And I don't know if he's going to put it back together, but this got like I said, a 496 in it with a Power Glide 5.5 in it. It's got this thing here, I think it's a CSC.
SCS maybe?
No, this is a Cyclone.
Oh, Cyclone.
This is a Cyclone TK, so I don't know much about it, but I've redid a whole bunch of stuff on it, 4 links. And
where did this one come from originally?
This originally came from Oklahoma. My buddy bought it and we went through it all. It seems like for lubrication they use sand and water for your inside the hub, so that's what I found in pretty much everything in this thing is sand and water, nothing, hardly any oil or anything. So I don't know if they just don't use oil down there or what, but kind of different. But anyway, we cleaned it all out, cleaned all the Cyclone out, you know, and put a new motor in this thing, and he put new shocks on it. God,
So it's a different engine even from what?
oh yeah, yeah. He had a, what was a 283 or 383, excuse me, 383
The small
stroker
block.
motor, small block in it, with a turbo 400 in it, and it did okay. You know, the motor was good, but always, you know, bigger, better. You know, so that's where he's at with this one.
So-
Waiting for him to get back so we can try to get this one going. I'd like to get it running.
So I went to a big block and a different transmission. That project
Jeep's got
there.
a 496 in it too. That thing hauls ass. It needs to be extended out. It's just dangerous.
Oh yeah, that's too squirrely for that short and that much
Yeah,
power.
It's dangerous. I'm the only one that's really opened it up and drove it. I was at a drag race down in Willamina, and right towards the finish line, that thing kicked sideways. I was going sideways, and then I let off on it, and then goosed it again, straightened me out, and the crowd and the people at the finish line like, man, I can't believe that you survived that one, man. It looked for sure you were going to roll it. And I'm like, I thought I was going to roll it too, but it was a butt pucker moment. So it got it, but like I said, it just needs to extend it out a little bit.
What's that putting out, do you think?
Probably about 800 horse.
Little buggy here.
I think these got the little air shocks on them and that, so I'm going to probably switch them out, get some like motorcycle 14-inch shocks, and then I'll have to put a bump stop in on it, and then all I got left to do is the steering, brakes, and a little bit of wiring here and there, and the thing will be ready to go. I've just been on my other projects, but Adam and I, Fordango, built this one a couple of years ago, and it's been since. So had other priorities to take care of, but cool little rig.
Yeah,
You know, for a small little motor, you know, be kind of, you know, in a campground or go somewhere, you know, just putting around. Be pretty cool. I mean, it's not for competition or anything, but I don't know much about that diesel motor. I know it's got a tapered shaft to it, and I got to find a tapered shaft so I can do the centrifugal clutch program. This axles and the tranny and everything came out of the yellow Jeep we saw.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what it was.
it's all the original
Yeah,
stuff
so
out
this
of
is all
that.
original stuff out of the Jeep. So I took it and put it under here. So, worked pretty good. So, you know, with this junkyard and found a little seat that would fit in there. You know,
Yeah.
something different. I think these are going to be my for my bump stops in the back. Cut them in half and put them down there so that got somewhere to land on.
What kind of a diesel is this
It
anyway?
has no numbers on it, nothing. I don't even know what it is, but I did start it up, and I didn't know, you know, what to expect. And I turned it up, or turned it on, and the thing was opened up. Like, "Wah!" I'm like, holy shit, you know. And it sounded really good, so I'm like, well, you know, I hate to get rid of it, but I don't know. I'm not gonna be able to use it. I got to use a regular shaft. I can't find anybody with a tapered shaft type system, so. Anyway, it came out of the tractor, out of a small tractor, farm tractor. I figured it'd have a lot of torque and stuff. It should, but
A little rack and pinion for steering. Here's the type of jack that everyone with a big truck needs.
pretty cool. It'll lift up any truck.
What's the weight capacity on something like this?
30,000.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
It should hold lift it. I try to be respectable. I call people if I'm going to run it for a while. I'll call my neighbors and ask, hey, I'm going to be running this thing, you know, hope it don't irritate you too much. So everybody's like, oh, no problem.
Yeah, I'm sure even just firing this up just to test out a few things, everyone's gonna know about it.
Oh yeah, my neighbors start coming over and they go, "Are you running it? Are you running it?" I'm like, "No, just testing it in here and that." Oh, okay. So,
All right, well, yeah, watch out for more coverage of this. If we don't have videos, other people are going to have videos. Keller Creations, Oregon Off-Road Photography for sure. They're always covering everything. And then I guess if you go to some of these other events, we'll see videos from other people too, you know.
There's a lot of videos I haven't even seen. People are showing me here, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like, so. The last one the big one I went to was Silo, and that was a pretty good one. The truck went up in the air pretty good. It looked like a shark going up, you know. But like I said, there's only one position for that pedal, and that's all the way down with this. So
yeah, this is not a crawler.
no, this is not a crawler.
But
jump and crawl over cars, though. But,
yeah.
But yeah, it's a beast in itself.
All right, Temptation 2 and maybe Temptation 1 will make an appearance again in the future. We'll see.
For sure.